What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, December the 12th, and it's about 6:15 here in Toronto. I'm your wealth guy. Let's talk money. Let's talk Sunday market preview for the week. So let's talk about last week first, because I've got a lot of notes. There's one main thing I want to look at because I've been talking about this for a very long time, and it continues to happen over, and that is all-time highs. So Friday we saw highs get hit in all three major indices, and potentially we're expecting that momentum to continue and carry forward this week. Now, I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen. It really depends on a couple key elements. So economic calendar-wise, we have PPI reporting, CPI, manufacturing, and the big one is the Fed and central bank. Now, depending on what Jerome Powell has to say this week, it could impact the market very negatively or really help create additional momentum to push the markets up higher again and continue to hit all-time highs. In truth, no matter what he says, I don't believe any of it. One thing consensus is telling us is that there will be no interest rate increase, and I firmly believe that. The other thing is they are talking about theoretically reducing or tightening of policy. Now, I don't really believe any of that's going to happen. I actually believe that the Fed is going to continue to pump money. It's not really going to make a difference. They are opting to be the buyer of last resort, and they're going to continue to push money at an accelerated rate. Even though they might talk about potentially lowering the minimum threshold, that doesn't change the maximum. So potentially it's not going to make any difference whatsoever, but sounds very nice. It's not about what Jerome Powell says, it's how he says it and the wording that he uses. Now, that being said, if we take a look at the markets overall, the markets are technically still set to open in the positive. And probably in the early part of the week, a little bit on the sluggish side, and momentum may pick up by Friday. Now, if we take a look at cryptocurrencies today, Bitcoin has now jumped back over 50K. I'm not really expecting a lot. There's still a lot of downside pressure on cryptocurrencies, and I anticipate that the pressure is going to continue to be there. We're not really seeing a lot of support to the upside, even though most technicals are now turning green in the last 24 hours across most cryptocurrencies. I'm still going to say be very cautious. I'm not quite convinced that Bitcoin or any other major cryptocurrency is ready to bounce back just yet. Let's have a look at precious metals, though. We are entering a point, especially for gold, where lines are crossing. And depending on how you're going to look at the flag, it can either be a setup for a negative drop or a downward drop, or potentially an upward break. Now, again, it really is going to depend on what Jerome Powell has to say and where money is going to flow. Is it going to flow out of the market or into equities? And that's really going to determine the price of the precious metals, in particular gold as a safe haven, or silver, which is a little bit more speculative and a little bit more volatile. But overall, I'm going to say that the markets are probably going to be pretty relaxed this week. I'm not expecting any major blowout days. The one to watch for me, the indicator to watch, however, will be crude. We've got OPEC this week and inventories. So depending what we see in crude, that'll determine whether or not the markets will go up as well. As you know, if you've been following me long enough, you know that as crude goes, and I've said this over and over, the Dow will follow. If crude makes a run up, you can expect the Dow to go with it. If crude takes a crash, you can expect that to happen as well. But that's it, everybody. It's a short one today, even though I've got a lot more notes. The video is long enough. I really don't want to get too much more into this. I will see you tomorrow morning at the opening bell.